Welcome, Southington Public Schools, to Convocation 2022-2023. Looks a little different this year. You need time in your buildings, and Steve and I want to celebrate our new hires and enjoy some inspirational guests. They were charged with delivering their speeches, doing something they love, since this year is all about balance.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve.
Hey.
By any chance, did you see the convocation videos?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh my God, I just sent them to you. You got to check them out. Pull them up on your screen.
Oh, let's check it out.
Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Schode. I'm the town manager for Southington. First of all, I hope you all had a great summer. The weather was good. We didn't have a lot of bad weekends, so hopefully you had enjoyed yourself, and now you're ready for a great school year. I hope this school year is a little different than the last two. We don't have to worry about a lot of masks. We don't have to worry about having our children in separate groups, and I hope that you have a very, very exciting year. As most of you know, I'm very close to the Southington school system. And I know that you've heard me say this many years. I'm a product of the K through 12 system in Southington, so I owe anything I am from an educational standpoint to the Southington school system. Also, as I mention every year, this is the 66th year that we have a family member of mine teaching in the Southington school system. So my love for the school system is well known, and I'm here, and the town is here, and my staff is here to support anything that the school system needs. And teachers, if you need anything from a town standpoint, please feel free to call my office. I hope you have a great year, and if we all work together, I think that this is going to be one of our best years, and certainly better than the last two. Congratulations and happy good year.
Good morning, everybody. Colleen Clark here at Chris Cody's driving range in Southington. I was asked by Mr. Pepe to go to my favorite place and just say a few words of welcome to you all. So I'm here at the driving range, which may be a little crazy because I just started golfing this year again after a 20+ year layoff, and I find it very frustrating. I find it very tiring. I find it very annoying at times, and then every once in a while I'll hit that one good shot, or I'll make a bogey, which for me is great, and I'm falling in love all over again. It kind of reminds me of teaching, that it's frustrating some days, it's annoying, and then you meet that one student and you have that aha moment with that student, and all of a sudden it makes everything worthwhile. So I hope you have a year this year of some little frustrating, just a little bit of frustration, a lot of exhilarating, a lot of good moments, and I hope that this year is your best year yet. And please know that the board and I have your back. We fully support what you're doing. We know what goes on in the classrooms, and we will support you throughout whatever happens this year. And heaven knows we've encountered a lot over the past few years, but we will support you no matter what. Thanks, and have a great year.
Hello, and greetings from the woods. I am so grateful and honored to be part of Convocation and have the opportunity to address my colleagues as we kick off our new school year. I was asked to deliver my address while doing something that I love. And as I thought about what to do, I thought about how I love to bake, I love to travel, I love to spend time with my family and friends and my dogs, and I love being an educator. I ended up landing here. I love to be outside, hiking and exploring, minus the bugs. I also love to read, so I'm going to share some ideas from two authors that I've been reading this summer. Elena Aguilar, who is a coach, and Brene Brown, who is a researcher. In the words of Elena, storytelling is medicine. And I think we all need a little medicine as we prepare to return to the classroom. So I'm going to share a couple stories and some things that I've been thinking about this summer. First story. When my son was very young, there were times when he would fall and get hurt. As a young mother who didn't know what to do, the first thing I said was, I know it hurts now, but it won't hurt forever. I would hug him and wipe away the tears, and sure enough, it didn't hurt forever. This became a mantra in our house. Someone hit their head, it won't hurt forever. Someone's feelings were hurt, it won't hurt forever. One day the roles were switched and I was the one upset and crying. And my 3-year-old walked over to me and told me not to worry, it won't hurt forever. Last school year was tough, and not normal tough, but really tough. I think I heard the question, it has to get better, right? Too many times to count. The pandemic has been difficult for everyone. We've all faced some sort of loss over these past years. It might be a loss of opportunities or experiences, and for others it might be a more significant or perhaps life-changing loss. On top of COVID, we were surrounded by reports of heated school board meetings and a sense of distrust among teachers all across the country. Yes, it has been tough, but it won't hurt forever. I left last school year knowing that I needed to reset and recharge, and I needed to better understand what I was feeling and why I was so exhausted. Elena tells us that emotions are information and we can learn from them. So I started to read Atlas of the Heart by Brene Brown and her research on emotions. Her team asked over 7,000 adults to name every emotion that they can label while they feel it, and the average was 3: happy, sad, and mad. The implication of this research is that when we feel different emotions, frustration, overwhelmed, gratitude, we cannot accurately label what we're feeling, and in turn, the ability to accurately label an emotion helps us move through it and heal. This made me think of another story. Not too long ago, my mom, who is a hospital chaplain, was at a pharmacy waiting in line to pick up a prescription. She noticed there was a father with a child at the counter. The child, who was about 4 years old, was coughing a lot and was visibly sick. As she waited in line, she became agitated and angry. Now remember, my mom is a woman whose job it is to comfort the sick and their family while they're in the hospital. A woman who taught me empathy and compassion. But she started to think, how could someone bring this sick child out into the public? What germs are they spreading? Am I going to get sick from this? Each question caused her anger to grow. The father paid for the prescription and then ushered his sick child to the side of the store to care for them. At that moment, she stopped, and she felt ashamed. Rather than having compassion for a father who is caring for his sick child, she felt anger and contempt. As she explored this more, she understood that the anger came from her mourning her safety. There was a time that a sick person in the store was not a threat, and she was experiencing the grief of that loss. Understanding our emotions and reactions to these emotions help us heal from our experiences. Once she was able to come to terms with her grief, she was able to renew her compassion. So once we name and tame the emotions that have been heavy on our hearts and minds, then we need to move forward. I hope that summer has been a time to rest and recharge while you are doing the things that you love. Back at school, I envision moving forward to look like collaborative time to connect with our colleagues, to do things that invigorate us and spark passion and curiosity. Time for us to share the stories of why we love this job and the difference that each of us makes in the lives of children. One last story. At the end of last year, I asked my kids to write thank you notes for their teachers. My son thanked one of his teachers for all the group work or the collaborative work in her class because it helped him to make friends. When I read that message, I paused. In all the times I have read or talked about collaboration, I never thought about this outcome. I didn't realize this impact of the skills that we're teaching in our classrooms. I think sometimes we get so overwhelmed with the lingo and the rubrics that we forget just how big our impact is, even the unintended or unplanned impacts. So as we begin this school year, I wish all of you a year in which you are your best self. A school year that includes time, prioritized time to reflect, connect, reconnect, and recharge. A school year where we celebrate accomplishments and support each other along the way. A year where we make new stories that define our commitment and connection to students. And I'm sure if we can even just attempt those things, then I know it won't hurt forever.
Hi everyone, my name is Kara Siebel. I'm a literacy specialist at Kennedy and Thalberg. And one of the things that I was recently thinking about was the fact that as teachers, and we are all like this, are very ready when summer comes, right? Like it's as if we come alive because the whole year has been so draining for us. I don't know about you, but I am someone who loves just those small moments. So I love being able to go to morning yoga or sunset yoga. I love painting, and that's something that I recently just got back into within the last couple of years. And those of you that really know me know that I am extremely passionate about traveling. I think anything that allows me to grow, either to grow personally or to learn about others, which also enriches who I am as a person. So going to other countries allows me to really understand people, understand their perspectives, and learn in a different way than I grew up, which I think is awesome. But one of the things I started thinking a lot about is, why is it that I wait until summer? Like, why am I not embedding all of that greatness throughout the year? And a couple years ago, I went to a yoga instructor in Hartford, and she wrote me a little message, and it kind of stuck with me. One of the things that she said was self-care means giving the world the best of you instead of what is left of you. And I put it on my fridge, and I walked by the other day, and it's really been sticking with me. And it makes me think a lot about how can I start embedding everything that I love doing into the summer throughout my school year? How can I balance myself more so that I can really show up for my students, for my friends, for my family, for my students' parents, for my administration, for our town? And so I want you to think a little bit about that. I want you to think about, what is it that you love? What is it that really lights you up over the summer? And how can you take some of that and make sure that you're embedding it? How can you challenge yourself to ensure that you are providing what you need to maintain that happiness and that joy so that you can pass it along to others. So I wish you all an excellent year and all the best.
What a message. What a team we have. I mean, everybody doing something they love, spreading a message of joy and inspiration going into the school year.
You gotta have balance in your life. Otherwise, 46 years go by.
Rick, what are you doing here?
Dude, you're retired.
I'm here for the video convocation, filming.
Rick, you're retired. You need to rest.
You're supposed to be home doing something you love.
But I always loved convocation.
Oh, Rick, of course you did, and Convocation loves you. But after 47 years, it's time to get a little rest. Tell the people you need balance.
Reboot while you're doing something you love, so that you are the best you each day for our kids.
Thanks, Rick. Folks, take this to heart because we need you to be your best you every day.
Have you seen the Convocation videos?
No, I haven't yet. You're supposed to be home doing something you love.
But I loved convocation.
But after 46 years, you gotta know when to reboot. Tell them. Go ahead, Rick, tell them.
You took my reboot word.
Can't you just make it work?
And I'm asking you to do that because people know I have a sense of humor. All right, let's see if we can do one more. Oh, and she tops it.